All right, I've got a 49ers update for you on this Tuesday afternoon. They have made a move at the running back position, one that we did expect. Patrick Taylor Jr. is back with the team officially. He was not with the team for just a couple days because he had been waived to make room for Christian McCaffrey. Taylor cleared waivers, and now they're bringing him back to the practice squad. So they're re-signing him. He moves, in effect, from the 53-man roster to the practice squad. To make room, the 49ers released Keyshawn Vaughn from the practice squad. So this is what the roster and depth chart looked before, and now we can make the move from Keyshawn Vaughn, released from the practice squad, to Patrick Taylor to show what it looks like after. Patrick Taylor Jr., there he goes. Taylor's gotten a few carries this year. Obviously, he started on the 53-man roster, but the 49ers had him, Jordan Mason, and Isaac Guerendo there when Christian McCaffrey had to take up a roster spot coming off injured reserve. Somebody had to go. Well, Taylor was at the bottom of the depth chart when it came to those on the 53-man roster, but he was above Keyshawn Vaughn, and they only want to dedicate one practice squad spot to a running back. So they released Keyshawn Vaughn and gave Taylor the old practice squad spot. So the 49ers' four running backs right now are Christian McCaffrey, Jordan Mason, Isaac Guerendo, and Patrick Taylor Jr. That is what we expected a few days ago. They've officially made the shuffle now. They're going to be back out at practice tomorrow. And we can talk about Christian McCaffrey's usage. I wrote in the San Francisco Standard, when I do my day after grades, they also have snap counts included. So this is what that piece looks like. There's Brock Purdy. We can scroll down to the running back position. Here you go. I had a B+ for the running back position, not because of Christian McCaffrey. I thought Isaac Guerendo blew an assignment, led to a sack against Brock Purdy that didn't make Trent Williams very happy. But that play's important to talk about because that's why Kyle Shanahan likes having Christian McCaffrey out on the field a whole heck of a lot. As you can see here, 56 snaps for Christian McCaffrey. Mason had 3 snaps. Isaac Guerendo had 3 snaps. And then Kyle Juszczyk, he's playing at a different role. The fullback had 25 snaps. But Shanahan wants to be as efficient as he possibly can be offensively. The path to that rides through CMC because he's so damn good at everything. He's so trustworthy at everything. Where I do think that they limited Christian McCaffrey and gave him a little bit more of a pitch count was in terms of touches. He had 13 carries in the run game, and he ended up having 6 catches, but he was targeted 7 times. So I think there was a concerted effort to keep Christian McCaffrey at or below 20 touches. I haven't verified this, but just by looking at game flow, the fact that they did substitute for Christian McCaffrey in the first half in a way that they hadn't done prior to this time away due to the Achilles tendonitis. Jordan Mason came in for a carry in the first half. Isaac Guerendo came in for a key early second half carry in the red zone. So they obviously were trying to spell Christian McCaffrey. They weren't using him on every single down. And they ultimately also weren't throwing to him on every single down or handing off to him, even if he was in the game. But he ended up getting 20 or 19 touches in this game with a total of 20 targets, if you included all rushes and all passes to him. 7 targets, 6 catches in the pass game for Christian McCaffrey. So he's a future Hall of Famer. He's somebody that the 49ers want on the field. They wouldn't have cleared him to play unless he was ready to handle a relatively large load. Even then, it's still early season for Christian McCaffrey because that was his first game. So just assume that he's 100% healthy. Assume that the Achilles tendonitis was never a thing. Say that that is far in the rearview mirror. Even if that were the case, it's going to be important for the 49ers to work Christian McCaffrey into the mix at a pace reflective of somebody who's just in there as a week 1 player, because you build up game endurance, you build up the ability to cut at game speed, to feel the action at game speed, and Christian McCaffrey is just now doing that for the 49ers. As you can see here, looking at the running back position, Garendo is a rookie that I think it was invaluable time for him while Christian McCaffrey was on injured reserve to get the carries that he did. He looked more and more confident every week. And now I think that the 49ers aren't nervous if they do need to stick Isaac Garendo in a football game. If Christian McCaffrey's winded or if he's hurt or if Jordan Mason in front of him also has some issues. And Jordan Mason has been dealing with the shoulder injury. Taylor has been a dependable number 3 for San Francisco. Now he's going to go to being the number 4 with McCaffrey back. But obviously the work that Taylor had put into this point made the 49ers want to keep him in the building. It's just that at this point to play, he's going to have to get a practice squad call up. And I doubt that the 49ers use one of those unless there's an injury in that running back room. So interesting times afoot at the 49ers running back position. Patrick Taylor Jr. back. Keyshawn Vaughn has been released. And I'm ready for about a minute and a half of your questions. McCaffrey played 56 of 61 offensive plays. That's a lot of work. Yes, that's his typical workload. That being said, maybe 61 out of 61 is his typical workload, so it's just a little bit lower. That being said, the target rate, the touch rate in that game was 20 touches for the game, or 19 touches, 20 targets in the game for Christian McCaffrey. Wasn't up at 25 or 30. We've seen it up at 25 or 30 plus before. So I do think that there was at least a little bit of an effort to keep that down, because obviously a player is going to take the biggest bruisings when he's handling the football, especially at the running back position, and the 49ers made sure that that didn't go over 20 in this game. At some point, though, you have to play him and have to test out how available he's going to be. And the 49ers needed to try to win that football game against Tampa Bay. His best plays, Christian's singular best play, came in the fourth quarter, so it wasn't like he was wearing down. I thought that he looked good. I thought that he passed that test. It was another checkpoint in his rehab, and now he's going to move on to the next one. That is, how well is he going to bounce back from a game and be ready to play on Sunday against the Seahawks? Invader 49ers says in a few years, Pooney is going to reset the offensive guard market. Mike has a good one. Check out the new podcast with Margot and David. Mike thinks it's a great episode. That's what he said right there. I have proof. Mike thinks it's a great episode. It's podcast only, though. So if you're watching right now, you need to go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We called it like the Week 10 recap or something. We're still trying to come up with a good name. We have to look through all your comments. I heard your comments were hilarious. Haven't had a chance to take a look at them yet. But podcast episode is up. Why don't you guys go check that out? Going to have some more stuff for you in about 40 minutes. But in the interim, you can listen to the podcast, because I think that's a good thing to pass time. This is not it for today, though. So hit that subscribe button, check out the podcast, and we will talk to you very soon.